We built a platform that actually is the only platform that plays an automated webinar back in a software. It feels like it's real, like it's live. Because when you share your story as a community, you can have a larger impact on this world.
Hey, what's up? Anthony Morrison here, and welcome to another video here on the WebinarFuel channel. So, why am I excited about this video? Well, it's real simple. I'm about to show you how you can split test your registration pathway to register people for your webinars within just seconds. Completely automated, never having to change anything on your website at all. WebinarFuel does it all. So if you're here and you're looking to create an automated webinar, or maybe you're using another platform, but it's not getting you the conversion rate and really the results that you're looking for, or maybe you're kind of new to webinars and you're like, man, I really want to do webinars, but I don't want to spend all my days, live on a webinar. I want to automate it. You're in the right place. WebinarFuel is a brand new platform that is unlike anything else on the planet. There's just nothing else like it, right? We've redefined how an automated webinar plays and the control that you have over that experience. One of those things is trying to optimize the three major points that you have to figure out in order to win with webinar. That is registrations. How do we get the highest possible registration rate, right? Attendees. How do we get the most possible people to attend our webinar? And then sales. How do we get the most people to purchase on our webinar? Those are the three metrics that you've got to look at if you're doing automated webinars, right? In this video, we're going to focus on registrations. How do we get the highest registration percentage possible for you? And I'm going to show you exactly how it's done right here on my computer. So if you look at this page, this is a basic registration page, okay? It's got a button here. When you click it, it pops up. It gives you the dates and times of these, of all the sessions that are available. Now, there are a few things that you've got to look at when you're looking at how do I increase my registration rate, okay? A couple of things. Number one is that most platforms require you to click the button and then immediately see the dates and the times for registrations. We don't believe that this is the best way to do this, right? So it's altering the flow. Number two is the words that you put onto the widget itself. Register for web class. Does that convert better than register for masterclass, right? The color. Believe it or not, like colors do matter. Is the button being blue or green? Does that make a big difference, right? What schedule is available? What times and dates and so on and so forth are actually available in my registration process in order to, again, provide me the highest return on my time, right? So what we do is we go into WebinarFuel, okay? And we look at our basic registration widget. So this is our basic registration widget right here. Typically on this second step, it'll ask for a full name. And then you'll also typically see that we also will ask for an email address, obviously, on here. So, you ask for, email address on here. So you'll have different, you can actually even select email address like this, right? So that you have an email. So this is what a typical field would look like. And you don't even really have to have this filled in because it'll have the email built into it, right? So this is what most people will see from any automated webinar platform that's on the market. Again, they click and then they ask for all this information. We've found that a two-step registration works a lot better. So let me explain to you and show you how you would split test that in order to figure that out for yourself. Well, the first thing that you'll do is you'll notice we have version 1, and this is version 1. The flow for the registration is the button to this and then to your thank you page, okay? So it's real simple, this and then this. How do we split test? Well, very easy. All we've got to do is click this little arrow down here, and we click this button that clones this because we want to clone this version, okay? So we go in here and we clone the version. You'll see that now we have 2 of these, okay? And we can expand this out, change this to where it says instead of version 1, we can change it to say version 2, okay? So we'll add this in here like that, and then we'll save it. Okay, so now we have 2 different versions of our widget. These will automatically start split testing on your page. So we can make any changes we want. let's just say that the first change we want to make is the button color. Okay, we can go in here, we can do this, we can change this button to whatever color we want. Maybe we probably don't want it to be this color, but any color you want under the rainbow. Maybe you want a black button, right? Now, instantly, WebinarFuel is going to start split testing these buttons, right? The black button against the blue button. So if you were to go here on the landing page and refresh the page, you'll notice that, this time you get the blue button. And again, if you're testing this at home, whenever you get a WebinarFuel account, sometimes you have to hard refresh in order to actually see this flip through, because it does cookie. It knows that you're the same registrant, right? So sometimes we'll get these and we'll go into like an incognito window. And one other thing that's very important for me to mention is that when you do this, you do have to turn these variations on, right? So again, you can turn them on and off when you're doing your split testing. So for instance, this one now you'll see it goes from black to blue, right? So now what we're doing is we're split testing the button color, right? That quick, that easy. And then you can see your results over here, right? So version 1, version 2, it shows you how many impressions, how many visits, how many registrations, how many people purchased, right? So you can get a true test just on basic button color, right? But let's just say that we've decided, okay, the blue button won, okay? All we have to do is go in here and turn the black button off. Now that version is gone, okay? The only version that will play back or show up on the website now is this one. And now you can go in here and you can do anything. You can go in here and add a completely new version. We can call this version 3. And we can add, let's just say, a default version of this, right? This default version has a multiple step registration process. First, you see the button, then you ask for an email address, then you ask for a date and time. This is how we typically suggest that you do this. And so now when you refresh your page, again, you've got to turn the variation on. I want to be very clear, that you turn this on, okay? And once it's on, you'll notice that now when I click, I've got the old one where it asks me for all the information in one step. And then I can refresh this page and I can click here, and now look, it's asking me for an email address first, right? So what am I doing? I'm split testing to see which one of these variations, the single step or the multi-step, is going to provide me with the best registration rate, right? The great news is you can test anything. You can, whenever this test is finished, whichever one wins, you can literally just go in here and turn off the one that doesn't win. So now we say, hey, the multi-step registration process worked great. So we go to multi-step, right? And then we can just continue on and we can test different words. So different words on top of the button. We can test different language inside of the registration process. A lot of times people will put a bonus element right here. So when they get to the complete your registration page, they'll bring in a bonus. You notice with our widget creator, you can put anything in here. Images, videos, your logo, different icons, all text. I mean, it's all drag and drop editor, right? So you could literally have a video that comes up here that says, thank you so much for getting here. You're one step away from your registration. Here's a special bonus we're going to give you on the next page. That way somebody's kind of bought in. They've given you an email address and then boom, here. Now you're able to tell them they're going to get a little something extra when they complete. This might help you get more registrations through the process. So what we're really allowing you to do is quickly and easily split test different flows for your registration. And then we're showing you the statistics on those flows, right? So that you can see any type of registration path and what is going to produce the most registrations, the most leads, and the most conversions for you. You can do all this without ever editing your page. Once you've got the registration widget on your page, you can do all of your split testing right here inside of WebinarFuel. And again, you can test multiple steps, so we can add maybe 3 or 4 steps in here. A lot of people use our quiz element, so they get an email address and then they add a new step and they call it the quiz element, right? So they add in a quiz, all right? And they make that like the 3rd step, right? Or the 2nd. So it goes button, first step, ask for an email, then quiz, right? And for a quiz, literally it's drag and drop. Boom. You ask them a question, right? And then once they answer the question, you get the rest of their information. So you change up the pathway. And again, you can test that and see, did that quiz element hurt your registrations? Does that hurt you or not? Does it help you or does it hurt you? And you can always be split testing in here multiple variations of your registration path. Let me just tell you, this is so simple. You don't have to be a developer. You don't have to understand a bunch of complicated stuff. You literally need to know how to drag and drop, as you saw. Split testing, words, colors, the flow of the registrations. Why do we do a two-step? Real simple. We get a lot of email addresses from people who honestly would have never given us their email address, because if, like most of the different software that you see that does automated webinars, when people click to register, the first thing you see is one screen that asks name, email, phone number, and then it gives them the dates and times of all the sessions, right, that it's playing back. But when people look at the dates and times, they might say, oh my gosh, I can't attend any of those. So they leave. You never collect their information. In a two-step flow, which you can see is simple to build with ours, you get that email address first, and then our notifications, which if you look on our channel at the video on notifications, you'll see we have a bucket called leads. We know when somebody gave an email address but never finished registering for the webinar, and you can send out automated reminders with different times and dates and stuff so that you can get that person to then re-register and complete their registration. So we're allowing you to split test your registration pathway to get the most registrants possible for your event. Nobody else does anything like this. This is one of those metrics that drives up your conversion rates because it drives up your registration rate. If you're not using WebinarFuel, but you're doing automated webinars, there's a link in the description. I highly suggest that you click it, set up your WebinarFuel account right now, and start using this. You're going to see the power that we give you, right? The control that we give you over your business with this software to split test anything and everything to get you the best results possible. Our goal with WebinarFuel is to help you bridge the gap from the live webinar conversions to this crummy conversion rate that we're used to getting on automated webinars. What we're able to do is push that conversion rate much closer to live because of all of the different profit levers we let you pull simple and easy inside of the software. You don't need to be tech savvy. Point, click, change. You saw it. Very, very simple. So you can get started with your account if you click that link in the description. Also, if you'd like to get updates every time we release new features or we teach more about how you can convert better on automated webinars, smash that subscribe button here on our channel. Subscribe to the channel. That way YouTube can alert you each and every time we put out new content, new videos, teaching you different ways and different strategies, not just to use WebinarFuel to crush it, but just to simply crush it in general with your webinar. So thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure check out WebinarFuel, subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you next time.